If planet Earth was a child, then the child has a father. And I believe that the child also needs a mother.
If there is to be a future, it will wear a feminine crown. If there is to be a future on this planet, the deep feminine will have to be included along with the deep masculine.
You know, if the elders don't come, help initiate the young men, they'll burn the village down to feel the warmth.
This is not about gender. This is beyond gender, what we're doing here.
Yeah, I'm really excited that the summit in LA is coming up, and we put so much work in it, and my role at the summit will be that I call myself a backbone.
We are the FemmeQ marketing department. We are
Michael
and Alistair. We are the
Golden
Boys
of Berlin.
Actually, we're one, together with Michi, who films behind here, one of the 3 boys in the FemmeQ team.
So at FemmeQ, I do their social media. I'd never attended a summit before. I had no idea what to expect, and I had to figure out how to put into facts of what people were going to experience and walk away with. It was really difficult. And after attending the summit, I understood. It's a shift in one's heart, and it's a shift in one's mind, and you leave just completely buzzing.
We live in a matrix and we think that this is normal and we can do nothing about it. And I disagree strongly.
We're in an obscene situation. How we got here doesn't matter, we're in it. We're in the situation where we are spending amounts of money on preparing for war that is not necessary anymore.
You can't really act until you have some hope. And if you act out of fear or rage, it's not going to really work.
FemmeQ is a collective of change makers, and we share one vision, which is that in order to change the structures and in order to change the system, we need to integrate the feminine qualities. And the feminine qualities are deep listening, intuition, caring, and holistic thinking. There's a certain intelligence which we call feminine intelligence.
You know, create unity and bring people together. So really phenomenal feminine energies. And what I've loved about being part of this summit is that we then also need those masculine qualities of making shit happen and going out and getting it done, because this is so important what we're doing.
The majority of the stories that we are told are like in the news and in TV. It's everything is a struggle, everything is conflict. And then you go out into the world with that idea, expecting people to, you know, screw you over, or that people don't care, and you go, but it's not the case. It's not a fair representation of humanity.
Are people from my business world or my family or my friends that have seen the excitement and the transformation in me, and they want to be a part of it too, and because they do want to make a difference. I mean, and that's what the bottom line is that we want to be change makers.
I've been working for years in what we call creative activism. So it's inform, inspire, and most of all, you have to empower. You have to get people off their backsides, to try to get them off their backsides and doing something.
I think that there is now more than ever a real need for us to create more compassionate and caring workplaces, where the feminine is more apparent.
I think the best businesses today, the best leaders today, are not those that motivate, but those that inspire a culture with feminine values and feminine perspectives.
The past, work has been a place where you bring part of yourself. And I think a lot of the feminine intelligence is about bringing all of yourself.
What we can be proud of is that we...
So over the next 2 days, as we imagine all of the people that are coming to embrace this, what we call an upgrade of the human system, which is to embrace our feminine qualities, what's really important for me is that people leave with a shift in perspective, because we've been spending so much time in our society as if one hand tied behind our back by just using the masculine qualities.
There are new capacities that come through the emotional understanding, then sensory ways of knowing, of cross-knowing through the collective fields that we have never experienced before in culture. We don't get there without unraveling the old code that holds together structure now.
It's not the thing we need to do now is to swing from the hyper-masculine to the hyper-feminine at all.
The only reason that it's hyper-masculine is because the masculine elements are disintegrated from feminine elements. Dominance is only an issue when your heart is not attuned.
If you're only operating anger all the time or numbness, you can't be a full human being.
So the reason why it's important for men to have contact with their feminine side is because that is our guidance. Literally, it's what points us forward in our life in a true direction.
You know, if the culture at large is kind of like, let's just running down this treadmill of like more and more, grow, 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 but because there's no orientation about why. What I appreciate in FemmeQ and what I think they're doing is that they're trying to crystallize this understanding into structures of culture and society. So what does, feminine intelligence look like in practice in a corporation? Like, what does it look like in the political system?
Pretty overwhelming. First, it's surprising to find such a gathering of talented, intelligent, sophisticated, and spiritual people.
I feel grateful to see so many people gathered here for this purpose.
Oh, it's been incredible. I came here because my company sponsored me and didn't really know what to expect, but it's really been very transformative, eye-opening, and I'm really excited to bring this back to my company.
Holding the events and tending to the beauty of the space in which the conversations can take place. That's huge, because the space itself conditions the quality of the conversation.
When people walk into a space and it's done with love and care, they have the impression that they're important. And that is also what I want to show people, that they are important, that moment is important, and I create a space and a stage in which we can open up our hearts to topics which are sometimes very, very difficult.
The reason why we, in particular, were invited here today is because this is being held in Los Angeles, which is one of the areas where our tribes originally reside. So the reason why we were here to do the opening ceremony was to honor the ancestors of this land, which are now currently known as the Tongva Nation.
Because we haven't had that acknowledgement piece in America, that's actually what's preventing us from going deeper and further. And so for me today, when we're in America, I feel like we're asking ourselves, who are we?
And until we know who we are, we can't really know what we want to do.
So what is it that motivates you? What is it that you want to do in the world? What is your stamp that you want to have?
What are we doing about the planet? How do we be activists and fully self-expressed and be a mother and a wife and work in the UN?
We all have to give ourselves permission to be human.
I don't think any organizations or movements or events exist that allow in a short amount of time to explore the inner dimension just as deeply, as wide as the external dimension.
But what's underneath the surface is really the mass of the iceberg.
Crazy, 'cause they don't understand.
And so that's what FemmeQ, I think, really talks about and brings about in people, is that concept of there's a larger discussion that's the underpinnings of what people want to talk about but don't have the chance to, or they don't feel like they have the power to. FemmeQ is able to provide that circle and that community to do so.
Is there hope? Yes. Is there grief? Yes. How do we speak truth to tragedy and grief?
I said mind blown. I don't have words.
One could say this is deep cultural alchemy, and it's difficult work. And what a great thing that the organizers have created a nurturing space to do this difficult work.
Well, actually, some things were exposed within me that I didn't anticipate. Brand new things that I will be going out, I'm committed to. It has to happen. And I am so much more hopeful than when I came here.
And so what I would like to see leaders doing more of, and it includes all of you here in this room, is tell their stories. Because guess what? We've all got a story. Every single one of us have got a story. We've got a brother, we've got a mother, we've got an aunt, we've got a daughter, we've got a son. And you know that every single story that gets told is like sending a lifeboat out into the ocean. And those that are suffering in silence, they cling onto that lifeboat and realize they might just be normal.